Alright, we're loaded up for our return trip to Tuscaloosa. ALTALA AIR Flight 09, Freebird Cessna Caravan. As you may have heard about the ALTALA world, the VORs are very fickle. So this afternoon, just for a training flight, we're going to head back to Birmingham, or head back to Tuscaloosa, strictly VFR with no nav aid support, and see if we can find our way home. Hopefully we can. I'll turn them back on if I have to, but maybe we won't get turned around too bad. Let's see, checking out everything. Flaps are set for takeoff, trim set for takeoff. I usually use about 10 degrees or 10% nose up for takeoff with this plane in this configuration. It usually makes for a pretty smooth takeoff. Nobody on the runway. I've never seen anybody else at this airport but me. There's a car moving. It's pretty rare in ALTALA. Taking off generally to the north, so I'm going to do what I can, back taxi down here. And so we have no data, no nav aids, no such as that. Just using the VOR1 pointer set to 360 as my compass to point north, make sure I'm staying oriented where I am. And we'll see if we can find our way. I do have a paper map sitting open next to me. And anytime I can catch a visual point, a visual checkpoint, I'll take a new heading off of that. From here it looks like about 15 degrees. Should get me in the right direction. Tiny little runway for a caravan. It does have that hump in it. Okay, let's see. Yep, our initial head, I'll go ahead and do runway heading to start with. And then we'll see where we can go from there. About 15 degrees should get us going good. And here we go. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Good. Takeoff power. There we go. Good, 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 good. Level off a little bit. Try to stay under 900 feet per minute. Unpressurized airplane, it's bad for your ears to go that fast. Upward. Flaps up. Turn on our initial heading. Round to about 015. Make a time notation right now. It's 1655. And then if we can do about 150, 160 knots for 110 miles. Pull out my trusty E6B app here. That ought to get us about a 45-minute flight. First decent checkpoint we should cross the river around Coffeyville in about 30 miles. "12 minutes, so about 1707 we should see that river. We should be over that river. Can already see it just a little bit above the compass right there. You could. There it is out there. I'm going to follow along, and somewhere out there it makes a turn back to the left. And we're at our cruise altitude. I'm going to stay at 3,500 so we can see the ground better. Making 169 knots true. About 160 indicated. And right there we have the Coffeyville lock and dam, so pretty good on target for that. Note our time as we cross Coffeyville. I think our heading's still good. We're just barely any off from a dead hit on that one anyway. What's the next good checkpoint? I think I'll just kind of follow the river to Demopolis. So about 1715 we should see Demopolis. I'm sort of familiar with that area from driving there a lot. Not so much from the air, but I think I'll figure it out. It's a Coast Guard cutter based there. It's pretty far inland for the Coast Guard, but they work all the way up past Tuscaloosa into Birmingport area. And if you're paying attention to the headings, I'm not sticking with the 015 heading anymore. I'm just following the river. Demopolis is a weird place on the rivers because it's where the Tombigbee waterway and the Black Warrior River converge. So you have to be careful. If you're following rivers, you got to be careful which one you're following. All of this is the same waterway. It just makes a hairpin turn right here. We're getting into Demopolis area. There it is. Yep, that's the Demopolis airport right in front of us. So we should be... I'll mark a time hack on that one. I got that one pretty close off of the map. It's getting a 1717 time to cross Demopolis. I want to follow the river to Tuscaloosa. The river gets kind of skinny and the trees get big, so it's hard to see. But I think we will. I think we'll just stay with the river instead of trying to run overland. Yep, it is a confusing mishmash of rivers up in here. I'm 51% sure this is the right river. We'll know if we come up on Utah, not the state, the town. There it is. That's the Utah runway. They have an old dilapidated airport right there. I used to fly there a good bit. For a VA, not in the real world. I have been there in the real world, but I didn't fly. I just drove because I wanted to see that place. But yeah, now confidence is high. That's Tuscaloosa on the horizon out there. I tend to think it's more fun to fly like this, just strict visual reference to the ground. If anybody does ever watch this, I'd appreciate the feedback to see if what you think's more entertaining. There's Lake Lurleen. Need to get this thing down. That's a beautiful little local lake in the Tuscaloosa area. Lake Lurleen, campgrounds and what have you. Just a nice calm place. The few actual flying lessons I've taken in my life, which used that as a reference point for turns around a point. You'll be able to see Highway 82 and follow that if we wanted to. Or there's a couple of little ponds, really, that you can follow in that put you right where you want to be. There's one of them, and there's the other. It's so strange. That body of water does not exist in the real world. It's part of ALTALA lore that I'm not privy to. Let's slow down some more. Get some flaps out. Full flaps. And we're coming in on 3.6. Everything looks pretty good. I'm sorry, we're not coming in on 3.6. We're coming in on 1.2. Move that bug around for my personal reference. Slow that thing down. I think I said it last time I landed on one of these videos. I always fly this approach high. Don't sink. I'm not sinking. She thinks I'm flying it too low. I'm not sinking. Boy, she's really got an attitude about this. As I was saying, I usually fly this approach kind of high because there's a traffic light right there at the end of the runway, and there's several pretty tall poles and what have you, utility stuff, that I just always feel like I'd rather glide. Gears down and welded, flaps are full. I know I should use a reverse thrust, but I forget about the beta because I usually fly a Cessna. A 172. This is a Cessna. They'd be offended if they knew I said that. I usually don't fly a turboprop, let's put it that way. Fuel conditioning, RPMs to 0. We are officially shut down. And power off. Interesting. All right, well, that concludes that flight. Thanks for flying with us.